Your patient's ventilator is alarming. What should you check first? Of course, in nursing school, we learned the first thing you want to check is your patient. So yes, you're going to want to look at your patient and assess what's going on and look at the patient's monitor to assess their vitals. But beyond that, we need to determine what type of alarm is going off. There are two main types of ventilator alarms that you will most commonly come across. The first are high pressure alarms, and then there's low pressure alarms. Low pressure alarms are easier to troubleshoot because these are caused by a disconnect somewhere in the circuit. To fix this, you just need to reconnect wherever there is the disconnect. Now, the disconnect can happen in multiple locations. I've had the ventilator circuit disconnect right from the patient's ET tube. I've had it disconnect from the actual ventilator. There are quite a few connection spots, so definitely get familiar with your ventilator circuit as well as the ventilator that is at your hospital. High pressure alarms, on the other hand, have quite a few causes. The reason you're getting a high pressure alarm is because the ventilator is meeting resistance either from the patient or somewhere in the ventilator circuit. This could mean that the patient has a lot of secretions that are blocking their tube. Maybe they have a big mucus plug. Maybe there's a kink somewhere in the circuit. Maybe the patient has poor lung compliance. They could be coughing a bunch or biting the ET tube. So the solution is going to depend on what the cause of the high pressure alarm is. So if you look at your patient and they're coughing a bunch, this is probably going to be the reason why the high pressure alarm is going off. They may need some adjustment in their sedation. They may need suctioned. If your patient is biting their ET tube, you may need to put in a bite block. I've even had the ET tube kink on the inside of the patient's mouth because it got twisted and you couldn't see it externally, but it was actually twisted back in the patient's mouth. And if you've done all of those things and your patient is chilling and you're not suctioning anything out, you may need to actually switch to a different ventilator mode. But that is a whole other video in and of itself. So let me know if you have any questions and let me know if you want to see it.